Good morning, everybody. Nice to have you with us. High heat on a Friday before a big weekend of baseball. It's good to have you aboard. Tim Schultz in today. Our pal is Rich Savino. Hope you had a happy birthday. Alana here momentarily. We got 60 minutes here to get you ready as far as the baseball week is concerned, and we'll have some fun. Usually always a big watermark is this Memorial Day where teams stand. Played around what? 30%, 28% of the regular season. And then we think about summertime and everything else, so we should have a good stretch of baseball here. We look forward to good weather all over the place. Nothing better than the old days when we used to have Memorial Day doubleheaders. That was the best. Or the Sunday double dip. That was the best. When I was a kid in June, late May, a Memorial Day, I couldn't get better than that. We don't have that as much as we did then. I understand the economics of the game's a little different, but still, there's something about Memorial Day baseball that's always fun. The weekend is where we are here. Remember, this is the weekend when Piazza became a New York Met, which is a huge story there in its own right. All right, we got a lot going on. Let's start the American League East. Have you had enough of Aaron Boone getting ejected in these games? I mean, the Orioles beat the Yankees. We'll get to them in a sec. But Boone, every 5 seconds, gets ejected. This is the 4th time in the last 10 days. He's annoyed about the home plate umpire here with balls and strikes. Clark Schmidt, a long first inning. Really? Aaron, this is what we're going to scream about because of balls and strikes in the first inning? I didn't see the top of the first. Maybe he got squeezed a little bit. But enough every 5. The game was not won or lost in the first inning. I'm sorry. Didn't score 10 runs. And then Boone going on and on and on and on. It's the 4th time he's been ejected in the last 10 days. 30th time in his career. This is getting old. All right? Every time, him and David Bell, the Reds, that's all they do is get ejected from these games. Sit there, stop moaning and groaning about the calls. It goes both ways, and let's play baseball. Goodness gracious me. Balls and strikes in the top of the first inning, and we're going to have a conniption? Take it easy. Enough, please. That's number one. All right, number two, that was a big weekend. That was a big series for Baltimore. They went 5-1 in the last week of, this last week, both on the road. They also beat Tampa 2 out of 3. Heck of a job by the Birds. Now listen, Kyle Gibson historically does not pitch well at Yankee Stadium or against the Yankees. So he did a great job last night. And the Orioles pitched well, and they could have swept easy. They got a pretty good back end of the bullpen, although Batista worries me a little bit. But they got a good back end of the bullpen. I love the manager, and they got a good offense. They need another pitcher. They need a couple of more. And what the Orioles do at the deadline is going to be fascinating, because if they want to sit there and be considered big-time team that can win it all, they got to get another couple of pitchers. That's all there is to it. And they did not do a lot in the winter. They did nothing last year. I'm not convinced that ownership wants to go out there and spend a lot of money, bring in a big contract, maybe a prospective free agent, give up a little of that farm system. The city deserves it. The team deserves it. They didn't make a move to get Rutschman signed. So I don't think the trend says that they're going to go out there and make a big move to get a pitcher. They need another one, and a big pitcher. They need a big pitcher. They need a guy there in a playoff game. You want to give the ball to Gibson in a playoff game? I'd be a little worried. You need a guy there that you can give the ball to in game 1 of a playoff series and feel he's going to give you 7 quality innings, hand the ball off to your bullpen, score some runs with a good offense, and win a game. They don't have that right now, and we will see if they go out there and try to do that at the deadline. There will be pitchers available. But a heck of a job by Baltimore, nevertheless. Heck of a week. They bounced back off that terrible loss there on Monday to win the next 2 games of that series. They had a huge 7th inning against that Yankee bullpen. And, of course, they did a very, very good job last night winning the game 3-1. They sort of took a little steam out of the Yankees. The Yankees have been playing very, very well. And Baltimore walked in there and took some steam out of them. So that's a good job. Put the Yankees back on their heels a little bit. Heck of a week for them. Good job for Baltimore. That is item number 1. Item number 2 is Toronto, who I've been calling this 1,000 times. I'll say it again. A team that likes to talk a big game has done absolutely nothing in the last 3 years. Now they're annoyed. I read that this team meeting that they had after losing again to Tampa yesterday sort of was exposed, and we found out about a team meeting after the game. Well, come on. This is not the Manhattan Project, okay? Look it up. You don't know what that is. People they're going to find out if there was a team meeting. You don't come out and meet the media right away. People are going to, put 2 and 2 together, and you're talking about how bad you played, and live with it. Don't get annoyed. This is baseball. It's sports. We're not fixing world hunger. Jeez. It's baseball. But the Toronto has done just an awful job in the last 11 games. They've lost 9 of 11. They were swept by the Orioles. They lost 3 out of 4 to the Yankees and 3 out of 4 to Tampa. They have not hit the clutch at all. I don't love their starting pitching. Alek Manoah, instead of sitting there screaming about Garrett Cole, should worry about getting some outs and not walking the ballpark and giving his team a quality start when they need it in the worst way. He has not done that all year. You want to call it a sophomore slump, whatever you might do. They counted on him to give them, 15 wins and 190, 200 innings and pitch good base. He has not done that. He is as big a problem as anybody on that team. He's done a horrendous job. There's no way around it. He's done a horrendous job. But the thing about Toronto is look in the mirror, say, you know what? Let's keep our mouths shut and let's go out there and start playing some good baseball. They have put themselves in horrific position in the American League East. They are not winning the American League East. That's out. They are not making up 10 and a half, 11 games and climbing over 4 teams in this division to win the AL East. That ain't happening. But in the American League, they can still make the postseason. We shall see if they do that. But I am very unimpressed with what I've seen of the Blue Jays, a team that last year in the playoffs laid an egg and got buried by Seattle in 2 straight games at home, blowing an 8-1 lead in Game 2. So they have done nothing. Be fair, they have done nothing. That is item number 2. The rest of the division is what it is. I mean, Tampa, I got to keep my big mouth shut because Alana was all over the Rays all year. She's 1,000% right. Glasnow comes back. They had 1 million steals yesterday. Now, they can't shake the Orioles, which is interesting. And the Yankees were competitive against them in 7 games, although Tampa did win 4 out of the 7, which is also interesting. But boy, oh boy, they've done a great job. They've gotten very good pitching. We all know about their bullpen, and they've been very good offensively. 1 million home runs, stolen 1 million bases, a much better offensive team. Haven't struck out a ton. A much better offensive team than they have been in the last year or 2. You couple that with McClanahan and Eflin, who have won 15 or 16 games between them. You know they're going to get outs in big spots in the bullpen. Manager knows what he's doing. I'm not sure if this is sustainable as far as the postseason is concerned. They have not really been a great postseason team. Red Sox ambushed them. They did nothing against Cleveland last year. Kind of laid an egg last couple games against the Dodgers 3 years ago. But Tampa has done an excellent job. They're a postseason team. Maybe they can win a division. The Yankees and Baltimore will have something to say about that. Excellent job by them. And the Red Sox, finally in the American League East, they're 2 up and down. 1 week they play great. They sweep somebody. They hit 1 million home runs. And, Sale and Paxton pitch well. And the next week they walk in Anaheim and they get swept. The next week they get the Pirates who sweep them. I mean, the Cardinals walk into Fenway. A very up and down team. Not enough consistent starting pitching, although maybe it gets a little better with Whitlock back in the rotation momentarily. They will get Duval back. Maybe Story here second half. And they played a hard schedule. But until the Red Sox can sit there and when they get 4 or 5 games over, jump to 10 over instead of going back to 500, until they do that, I can't take them that seriously. Competitive team, feisty team, fun team, but right now I can't put them in conversations for postseason in the American League East. Tampa and Baltimore have set themselves apart. The Yankees are not whole yet. The Yankees at the end of the day, despite a bad loss to Baltimore, the Yankees at the end of the day are going to be in the mix and most likely be a playoff team. Toronto, I'm not so sure about. Red Sox, lots of work to do. That's where we stand, and very impressed with what Baltimore's done. Almost more impressed than what Tampa's done, because Baltimore's had a tougher schedule. They won a series in Toronto. Tampa did not do that. They won a series at Yankee Stadium. Tampa did not do that. And they beat Tampa at home. So I'm actually more impressed by the Orioles than I am with the Rays. But if the Orioles want to be considered a big-time team, they have not done it the last 2 years. That ownership group's got to give that GM and the president of baseball operations, Elias, permission to go out there and add a big contract and a big pitcher because they're not winning without one. They need one. We'll see if he does it.